Hi everyone, this is David Taylor, here to talk to you about your extended definition. You know, usually when you hear the word definition, you think of a dictionary or encyclopedia that is used to define terms such as a juvenile delinquent is an underage person convicted of crime or antisocial behavior. A venture capitalist is a person who provides money for innovative projects. Now, those are called standard definitions, and you should definitely know them. However, a standard definition is only a one small part on one of these terms. Let's take a look at those terms right now. Here they are. Juvenile delinquent, stimulus package, Bill of Rights, ICE, Habeas Corpus, Adjudication, fiduciary, cubism, venture capitalist, intellectual property. Or you can suggest your own term to define if your instructor approves. However, regardless of the term you choose, you'll be writing what is called an extended definition. So the question is, how do you organize it around one of these terms that you have only passing familiarity with? The answer is any way you want. Any organizational pattern that you choose can be used to organize. Let's take a look at some of these organizational patterns and how you can possibly use them. In this extended definition, you can classify. This is where you divide the subject into types or parts and then describe each type. You can compare. You show how the subject is like or unlike something else. You can illustrate. You tell about incidents and examples that clarify and round out your term. You can analyze origins and causes. Where did the subject come from? What caused it to happen? Or you can show results and uses. Here you describe the consequences and uses of the subject. Can you think of other patterns? Go ahead. Be my guest. Take whatever approach you wish when it comes to organizing. You can single pattern, or you can combine these patterns in any way you wish, mixing and matching, so to speak. Let's take a look at some example outlines based upon some of these patterns. The first one we'll look at a single pattern. Our term is juvenile delinquent. Its standard definition, an underage person who has committed a crime. Pattern, classify. Thesis, to understand juvenile delinquency, it's necessary to know the major types of delinquents. In our supportings, we will discuss the first type of juvenile delinquent, the second type, the third type, and all you have to do is think back to your experience. Those juvenile delinquents probably range from someone who plays hooky from school to someone who commits mass murder, from someone who writes graffiti on a wall to someone who joins in gangs at the age of 12. All you have to do is think of those types in your experience and describe each one to help round out this understanding of the term juvenile delinquency. Here's another example of a single pattern at work. Term, habeas corpus. Standard definition, legal right to go before a judge after being arrested or imprisoned. Pattern, let's illustrate it with examples. Thesis, the concept of habeas corpus has been diluted in America today. Now, our support will consist of illustrative examples that we have encountered in our lives today. Example number 1, those Muslim Americans who were arrested and disappeared after 9/11. Example number 2, Guantanamo Bay prisoners who have been there for nearly 11 years without ever being charged with a crime. Now, as we talked about, you can also combine these patterns, mixing and matching, in order to develop the main point, your slant, in the way that best makes that point for you. Let's take a look at how to combine some of these patterns. Term, adjudication. Standard definition, legal process of resolving a dispute, arbitration. Thesis, when it comes to criminal acts, adjudication short-circuits the legal rights of Americans. Our support, well, we could use the classify pattern and define forced arbitration as the type of arbitration or adjudication that we are going to write about. Our second could be based on the narration pattern. Here we would tell the story of Jamie Lee Jones, who was brutally raped by her Halliburton co-workers in Iraq, but required to submit to arbitration without appeal. And then, to wrap up, we would use the results or consequences pattern. Because she was deprived of the due process of law, her rapist went free. The key thing to remember is you have a variety of options when it comes to extending your definition. Simply choose the one or ones that are right for you.